Welcome back to the Book Reading Bitch Queens podcast. I'm Allie.
And I'm Sam.
This week we're jumping into chapter 28. In this chapter, we are going home. We get some final goodbyes from Feyre to Lucien, Tamlin, and Alice. And then we have the moment that almost was. And then we go in the carriage and we fall asleep. And we wake up at home in our frilly dress that we hate and see our sisters. I don't know why I just switched into saying our all the time, but we start seeing Nesta and Elain, and we get some of the details of the cover story and all that, and we end with our
regret.
Yeah, just everyone back together, reunited. Father wept at the sight of me, and the first moments back home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This chapter has like such tiny little nuggets of juiciness. And well, the first thing I highlighted was when Lucien said, when he snorts and says, "Those clothes are enough to convince me I never want to enter the human realm." And then I wrote next to it, "Mwahaha, be careful what you say, Mr. Lucien, because we'll be in the human realm for a while." I didn't write all that next to it, but I underlined it, and that's what I know my brain was thinking.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
But yeah,
I always forget he's in the human realm for some reason.
Yeah, just like avoiding Koshe, I guess. And hanging out with someone who turns into a swan or some shit. I don't remember these things. I'm the worst.
A fire bird. Yeah, fire or something.
By day, right? And then human by night. She has some...
Or the opposite?
The opposite, yeah. She's got some weird,
one of those.
like a... Yeah.
Clock thing.
She's got some weird Fiona thing happening.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But she can't be ugly because it's a SJM novel. So she can't be an ogre.
No, it's making me want to write an ugly main character. Actually, I always think that about the men too. I'm like, why do we always be having 6-packs? I guess because they're all like warriors. But then I'm like, why are they all warriors?
Well, and then the time that we don't get like a full warrior and he's just like a normal human, everybody shits on him because he's Kale.
Yeah, but I feel like they're still like ripped anyway, and I'm like,
that's fair.
I mean, I get it, but like also it sort of makes it feel like when you read a good story, you don't think it's shallow, but it kind of almost makes it feel like, oh, this is here for the fan service, and it's like, oh, it's one of those, like, and then it makes my brain do interesting things when it's fair. I mean, it's fine sometimes, but maybe I'm just a weirdo. But the first thing I noticed, and I think we talked about this a little bit last week, was the outfit because it was so frilly, and I think like something we were talking about last week made me connect those dots. It almost feels like the wedding moment where she's in this dress she hates, doing just something to appease Tamlin, and then it's in the next book it's the wedding, and in this book it's this goodbye. It's like this thing that's not supposed to be,
and it's performative. Everything that Tamlin puts her in is performative, right?
Actually, everything that Tamlin does, this is my theme for the next book, but it's always true. He's always about aesthetics over substance. Yeah. Always. Much more obvious in the next book. Yeah. But that seems like that's your thought.
Well, too. And because like this is not an outfit she would choose for herself. Probably even once she's established in the house, like I'm home and I'm this rich sister as well, she still doesn't wear shit like this, right? She wears, I mean, dresses, but not poofy and frilly and with a parasol and stuff. Like Tamlin, I think it could be endearing if like he slightly missed the mark on like, I think that would be funnier is if she's like, he put me in this dress that like was very much outdated, but it is human fashion, but it's like human fashion from like 20 years ago or something where he's just like slightly out of touch. That would be endearing and kind of cute, where he's like, I gotta send you home and like kind of look like you haven't just been fucking around in fairyland, but also I don't know enough to know, so I'm just gonna like, it'd be like if we put our husbands in like a 3-piece suit and we're just like, go back to 2025 knowing that it's gonna look very out of place. But that's not what he does, right? He's kind of on the nose with it, and it's performative, and he's like, oh, you need to look like you just inherited a bunch of money when you go home, and also look like you have been in human lands and not, hanging out here with fucking daggers and naga and shit.
Yeah, although then I still am like, her sisters, like, they do know her. Like, they probably would be like,
Yeah.
nice outfit. Doesn't seem like you. Like, I don't know. But also, and if anything, if his priority is the cover story, then he should like make it a little more casual. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, and I just noticed the uncomfortability with it. Just seemed like an interesting little moment.
But then, like, how much you're like, how much did he rewrite of their brains then if, like, they think that she would wear this? And also,
Yeah,
they
I
don't
think he doesn't.
recognize her as soon as they see her because it's like, well, do they not recognize her because she has meat on her bones and she's not starving? Is it because she's in a ridiculous dress and she would never wear that? Like, great, cool, but it's, I don't know. You gotta wonder how much. Also, sorry, just dawned on me. He's altering what they're thinking. He's
Or he's altering their memories.
controlling an aspect of their mind.
So the glamour makes them think that she left to go help Aunt Ripley. And
What
so
if
what's
he has mind control powers?
we have thought of this before.
What, Jesus Christ?
We were talking about this on the Calumny episode.
Yeah.
No, something, some episode, whatever. I don't
I'm
remember.
just saying
You,
there's
yeah,
there's some evidence for him to at least manipulate memories.
it seems crazy to have a glamour on a memory because,
He's
like,
Rhys's
that
son.
seems
I'm
like very
telling. No, I'm just
complex.
kidding. That's the most unhinged theory I've ever heard in my life, but that's
I
hilarious.
know, yeah, but it is kind of weirdly complex. Like, how do you
What
glamour a
is I keep
memory?
thinking intrinsic, and that's the wrong franchise. What is the what is the thing
Oh,
that Rhys
uh,
can do? What is he
uh,
called? Damn not
Damnati.
damn naughty. Yeah. What if
Damnati.
they might what? Oh, Jesus Christ.
It
Our
just
people
sounds
are
like you're
gonna cut.
saying damn.
It's it's been a day. Um yeah, what if Tamlin's one of those guys?
That would yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I think he'd be smarter.
Here's a thought. What if his glamour worked so well on Elaine because that's his mate and he can actually like mind talk to
Or
her the way
because
that
it's spring
Aelin.
magic and she belongs to spring
Yeah, yeah,
after he
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dies and they're not
Or
mates.
or they are mates. You watch them be mates. It's gonna piss everybody off.
That would be so.
There's
You
a
know what?
lot of
Okay,
people. There are a lot of people who are rooting for a Tamlin Elaine mate
I'm
situation.
not rooting for it, but if it can be done and done well, I'm okay with it.
It can be done.
Because you know what it would be? It would be a true enemies to lovers. None of this like, I kind of don't like you.
Yeah.
You're a little annoying. Like,
You fucked my sister,
actually,
bro. You tried
like,
to marry her and locked her up and was abusive. What? This
yeah,
motherfucker. Do I make the same sound right before I
it's
climax,
okay.
Tamlin?
Yeah,
So unhinged.
but yeah, like but yeah, like it would be an actual enemies to lovers with stakes,
Yeah.
not just I'm so like, yeah, I always rant about Prythian and how it's like not real
Hmm.
enemies to lovers and stuff like that.
Well, so and then the scene that when they come out of the cauldron,
Yeah,
Lucian looks to Tamlin, or Tamlin makes
before he says,
he makes like a weird like gasp, or there's something that Tamlin does, and then Lucian blurts out, "That's my mate." And so like
yeah, no, people love to use that as
there's
the
a little
reason,
bit of space that if she wanted to make that something, she could. There's
especially
an
Demati.
right?
Yeah,
He huffs in or whatever, and then he looks to Lucian, who he's been chilling with for at least 50 years. Fucking nine mind talks to that fool, and is like, "Hey, whoa!" And then he's like, "Got it, got you covered. I'll go." Just
yeah,
saying, it can be done.
yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, it could be so stupid though. That's what would make me nervous is that it could just
That
be
it could end up
badly
being,
done. It's cheesy. There's so many opportunities for it to be lame that I would
or
just
there
be
could be
nervous.
like just like a sort of automatic forgiveness because of mate status.
Ugh,
That
no,
would
you
suck.
cannot be
Where they
doing
were
that.
just like, well, that's his mate. And it'd be like a Twilight thing, right? Where like he
Yeah,
imprints on the baby, so then they just can't kill the baby. And you're like, well, that's okay. Sure. You just took all the stakes away and just made it like, oh, fine, button it up. Um,
yeah. I mean, and enemies to lovers with Elaine could be really interesting because she is so kind of, well, we don't really know her, to be fair.
Not
We
only
just
that, but
like,
then like if Lucien isn't her mate, then we can see a whole like Lucien and Elaine like friendship love story like he has with Feyre, but very different.
yeah. Plus, then maybe
We
we
could see
could
a
pair him with
real
someone interesting.
fucked up love triangle between Tamlin and Asriel.
Well, Tamlin and Lucien, even as a love triangle, would be crazy too.
Yes, it
But
would, right?
yeah,
Because Lucian's
Tamlin and
like, why?
Asriel,
Yeah.
all iterations of that
Also,
are
Tamlin was the
crazy.
one who saved her when they came to rescue her.
Yes, that's the other thing that people point to is that he was
Yeah.
like, "I gotta help you,"
Yeah.
um, and he technically gave up his like secret status with Hybern, his double agent status with Hybern to save Elaine.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that was
Was it a double?
interesting.
Was he a double agent though?
Well,
Do
that's the
we
thing. He said he was a double agent, and then after that, he could not go back, and he was not with Hybern anymore because they were like,
because
"Screw you."
it got out of control.
Yeah, so at least his fake or real double, or maybe he switched right then for Elaine.
Yeah, I need to start remembering how Hybern became the bad guy because like did he
He's just racist, and he wants the humans back, and he wants to take Prythian because he
sure,
doesn't
but
want the
he
contract.
uses the moment that all of the High Lords get their powers back to strike? That seems stupid.
No, he he sent Amarantha over as part of the first strike, like to
Yes.
like do that, and then I don't think he
And then
would like
she's the great
intentionally
betrayer.
waited, but maybe he saw that they were weakened because they were freshly
They're weird.
restored, and so maybe he
Mhm.
was trying to like before they get their shit back together, I'll attack them while they're regrouping or they're
And then
rebuilding.
Tamlin's saying that he's a double agent. By Ianthe is not a double agent. She is on.
No, Tamlin's not a double agent till Akawar at the High Lords meeting when they're like, "Are you with us or what?" And because he had been with Tamlin and Akamath, and that's why he
Mhm.
was sisters and Ianthe and stuff. And it's at the High Lords meeting where he's like, "Okay,
I'll remember all this one day. It's fine.
yeah, it's hard to remember, but yeah." My next, I don't know. I also thought it was interesting that Alice says she gave her a long look, and I was
Mhm.
like, I mean, maybe what is she trying to get her to go? I can't believe I love you. And then then it's fine. What is?
Yeah,
I guess maybe she is just trying to do that, or she's just wishing she could say something.
maybe. She's like willing her to piece
Yeah,
it
maybe that's what the
together.
long look is.
Yeah,
Did
she
you
just
did you think anything of it? I was just
I
like,
didn't.
it just felt like something.
I do love how she says, "I'm not sure what the human realms would know what to do with you." I'm like, I need to see Lucian in the human realms. I feel like I'm more excited for that than anything else right now with
Mhm.
ACOTAR 6. Mostly because I know that it'll probably start with him in the human realm, so at least we'll get a glimpse of it.
Actually, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so if it's like it's 6 months of marketing, is that what we said?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean like March? They haven't announced yet,
They haven't
technically,
announced yet. I'm wondering if they're gonna like announce around the holidays and for a
but not
summer.
take advantage of the holidays.
Yeah, I
Like,
know that seems silly, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah, you can tell Tim Lucian's pissed. He's like,
Yeah.
his smile was shoulders tight, and he's like glaring at Tamlin. Um, and I don't know, everything he says, I'm just like, it's so interesting. Like, I thought you were smarter than this. Like, he doesn't expect her to have figured it out, but
So
what
that's
is he trying to do?
okay. Okay. That was my question.
Okay.
Was like she should have figured it out, question mark. And then I read it again and Lucian's smile was edged, his shoulders tight as he gave a sharp look behind me to where Tam was waiting in front of the gilded carriage. When he turned back, his metal eye narrowed. I thought you were smarter than this. I wonder if he's not talking to her, he's talking to Tamlin.
Oh yeah, actually, I did think it was like that at first too, because it's not clear who he's talking about.
It's not. And like I get it's like when he turned back, his metal eye narrowed. Like you think it's on her, but maybe he's talking to Tamlin,
Yeah,
which would make more sense that he's
way more sense.
way more sense that he's talking to Tamlin than talking to her. How he can't expect her to figure this out, right? Like she doesn't have enough information to figure it out.
No, there's no way she can figure it out. But maybe, yeah, I think he's just actually, maybe he is just talking to Tamlin and she's just interrupting to be like, okay, you didn't say bye to me. I guess that's your way of saying goodbye. Like,
Mhm.
she's like,
Or maybe she thinks he is talking to her, but he's
yeah,
actually talking to Tamlin. I love that reading too, where she's just like, "Oh, well, goodbye to you too, sir." Like, and he's not, he's
you can see he does seem desperate. Like the theory about him going to Hybern first would totally fit here because you can tell he's pissed.
yeah.
It just that's what I would do if
Yeah,
I
because you
felt like
stopped me
this.
from doing all of my things because you were
Yeah,
putting all of your eggs in this basket, and now
and
you're
now
gonna
you're
say and,
dumping
like,
out the
"What the
basket.
fuck? This is stupid." So now I can't and now we don't even have enough time to do either of them. Not only are you giving me not enough time to go back on my word with Hybern because I've already told him no, but now you're giving up the one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can really tell he's pissed. Yeah. You're not even gonna give her a few more days, just a few before you send her back to that human cesspit.
Yeah.
Like, it is very interesting to read it. She's the law around here, buddy. Oh yeah. Okay, he
Mhm.
spits on the. Wait, hold on. Does he spit at Tamlin?
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't up for debate, Tamlin says. Lucian stares at him, spat on the ground, and stormed up the stairs.
Mhm.
That's
That's
that's like
intense.
the fuck you spat on the ground,
Yeah.
like dramatic movie kind of like.
That's intense.
Did you realize that before?
I did. I didn't underline it, but yeah, he's furious.
I mean, and it makes like I would be too. Like,
Yeah.
Lucian's the most relatable character here. Tamlin's like,
Well, and maybe he's more upset because of the negotiations that had to be
yeah,
started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped. Like, I'm sure that this is not the first time that Tamlin was like, wait, 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 hold on, let me do a thing. And
Mhm.
Lucian's like, fuck, now we're like at the last 48 hours, my dude. You're you're not gonna give her the last 48 hours to fucking say that she loves you. You're not gonna like make something happen right now. You're just gonna say fuck it. And all of the work that we've put in and all of the torture we've gone through is for what? Nothing? Because you're just gonna surrender like a little bitch? Like, I wonder what Tamlin's actual plan was. Was he just like, "Welp, I lost, throw in the towel"? Like, he was just gonna live the rest of his life as and, like, is she trying to sleep with him? Like, is he allowing her to touch him? Like, just like what was your what were you gonna do?
I think like okay. I don't think anyone would be like, "Yep, I gotta give up." Like, I feel like he was like, "I'll just find some other way." Like, that's how I fill it in. Is like he was just like, "I'll go, I'll figure out her weakness, and then I'll do something." Like, and I'm like, "Oh, it's insane," but that's
Yeah,
probably like what he sees as
yeah,
his only choice.
yeah.
Or maybe he thought that doing what was right for Feyre would actually make her love him, and that could break the thing. Like,
I mean,
I
that's
doubt
kind
it.
of my theory here because she says, because he's talking about the mortal realms, right? He says the mortal realms remain safe for you and your family. I nodded, wondering whether he might have tried to persuade me to leave the territory to go south, but understood that I would have refused to be so far from the wall from him, that going back to my family was far enough that I would allow to be sent from his side. And even if he did know that, if he is truly trying to sacrifice her, I would think the same thing. Like, why didn't you tell her to get on a boat? Why didn't you tell her to go somewhere else? And so I'm
That's true.
wondering if this is all a ruse. Like, this is all his last ditch effort to like get her to say I love you, and then she doesn't, and he's like, real fuck. Like, maybe that's what Lucian's pissed at, where he's like, this isn't going to work, Tamlin. You can't force her to say it. You can't push her away and push her away and push her away until she says it. And he's like, this is gonna work, my friend. You watch. She's gonna say it because she's gonna think that she's never gonna see me again, and she's gonna say I love you. And then she doesn't.
Yeah, it's almost like
Well, and then Lucian could be like, that's why he's saying, I thought you were smarter than this, because he could be like, dude, Rhys was in her head. Rhys said
uh
she could be, but she's too stubborn. Now you're gonna push her away. That's gonna backfire, my dude.
yeah, like maybe he thinks he's bringing it to a boiling point or like a sooner than later with that, but yeah, and also Reese said he makes it sound like he went into Tamlin's head as well and had to make him afraid. So I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if he was like literally in Tamlin's head planting like irrational
Yeah.
thoughts because he cared about Feyre and he was like, I don't care. Because Reese actually wouldn't fit for his character to think we'll figure out a way out of this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use like so maybe it's more Reese than we think it is.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's like, what's another 50 years to try to figure out how to bring her down?
Yeah, yeah, because they are they're immortal or but and if it's okay if
Do
it's not
you think
like you know Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so spacey tonight. Do you think that the thing that they were drinking wasn't a potion, but it was her blood?
Yeah, we talked about like a blood oath possibility.
How do I not remember what we talk about?
Oh, I listen to everything like 3 times because 'cause I'll do the edit and then the
Yeah.
listen through and stuff. Plus, I'm listening like 5 episodes back because we're way ahead.
Mhm.
So I kind of but, when we originally I don't know what episode, but we did talk about that, and I don't know, I had mentioned in that episode, like, I think blood oath has to be I don't know what the technicalities of it being straight from the
It'd be willingly
source and
given,
3
yeah.
mouthfuls.
Yeah.
And also but it could be some kind of blood magic, like,
Yeah.
it could just be, like, something else, but, um, yeah, I do wonder I wonder if those spells she uses are a little too OP,
Mhm.
but that's kind of a nitpicky world building thing, it's fine. It did its job. But, if Tamlin's not trying to manipulate, not trying to do all this, and it might just be the one sort of selfless thing Tamlin does, even though
I
it's
would
also
I would I
stupid.
would I would like to think that it's a selfless thing,
Yeah.
but I also like the readings of it being
I think it's way more
one
interesting that
one
it's yeah.
last way to manipulate her into saying, "I love you."
Because to him, like, probably, like, he seems like the kind of person who becomes who he becomes is not somebody who's, like, had normal relationships with,
Yeah.
like so I bet you he's had, yeah, people who, like, isolating
Mhm.
and treating people X ways the way that feels good or feels normal for him to give love. So I'm
Or
sure
he
it
was
probably is
previously
instinctual.
in love with somebody, and it also went horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Like a Reese's sister theory or a
yeah, like if
Feyre's
people I
mom
love
theory or
die,
something.
and
Yeah.
so I don't
Mhm.
want her to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. My thought throughout this whole thing, because a lot of this is like her being like, I love him so much, or she doesn't say I love him, but she's like, so like in love with Tamlin in this part.
Yeah.
And because she's so sad and she's like, I wouldn't be only so far away, I would not allow myself to be further away, and I'm just like, bro, I get you had like 3 sort of fairy tale months and 1 good fuck.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
this is like
Yeah.
a summer fling, like, and I get it. I mean, I've been that delusional 19-year-old, but like, bro,
Yeah.
it's seriously just one night and like a couple months of being friends.
And we do see that most of the like mate bonds aren't instant love either.
Yeah.
Like Nesta and Cassian, whether or not you want to say it's a fucking true fate,
They kinda did have more, but they kind of are more lust-centric anyway as people, maybe,
yeah,
because they had, like, tension right from the get-go in that
they
first
did, but they
yeah.
did not like each other. It wasn't like I
Mm,
need to be with this person at
sure, it was just
all.
tension.
I mean, Elaine and Lucien, if that is her mate, that's not she's not into that. Even Feyre and Rhys were, in an enemy space and not
Yeah.
into well,
I think
she
they
wasn't.
they might have been if they'd met under normal circumstances, to be honest.
But I don't think that the
Um,
mate thing is like you see them and it's love at first sight, right?
no.
Even Aelin and Rowan are not that, right?
Yeah.
And same with I think we established that Lysandra and Aedion are mates, yes?
Mm, maybe it's, like, in an interview or,
I think they
like
have like a choice thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's in the text, but I think it's
maybe SJM just said, "Yeah, they are," like,
yeah.
type of thing.
Well, same with Lorcan and Allied, right? I mean, humans and Fae can be mates apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I know he, like, took her name, and he's apparently gonna die when she dies, but beyond that, I don't really
Also,
know.
she she starts her period and has a regular period when she's with him. She makes a note about that. I don't know how the fuck I remember that, nothing else. But
Allied?
yeah, she makes a note of that because when they're traveling, he cuts up
Yeah.
his shirt for her. And there, she was like, my periods are usually like spotty and super light and erratic. And here I am, like having a full period. This is stupid.
I remember that, but just kind of, but I feel like it's to show that she's relaxed, like, she's been in a stressful, terrible life, and because that fucks with your period?
I mean
Or
that
I don't
or
know.
that that's her mate. Yeah, and that her body has regulated itself for procreation.
That's interesting. I didn't that is hmm. Have we heard of that being a thing in any other mate bonds, or is just it kind of would make sense just in
I mean,
general?
they allude to I mean, Reese says that the mate bond could be because of some cosmic genetic thing that, knows that these two people will produce powerful people or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, or it could just be, a joke. So like it's not stated the same way as in like Twilight, where it's like, you imprint on the person that you have the highest chance of having perfect children with, because
That sounds like eugenics.
yeah,
Um, why is I love you Feyre in her mind? That's what I
mm,
wrote.
that's at the top of 251.
Oh yeah, yeah. She can like. Well, she's just remembering that he said it the night before.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, I think maybe I was actually thinking because we had talked before about Tamlin being a demon. It's
Yeah,
almost like maybe he's trying to get her. Like, it's just kind of. I mean, I guess it's just emphasizing that she's starting to feel the pressure even at that moment to say
yeah.
it. Um, and as far as like the moments before, where does he say it? I will see you again. Oh, and then he says, I love you. And then right
Mhm.
after, I just felt like she was just scrambling for reasons to not say it. Like, it's like she thought she wanted to, but like her brain is actually like, don't. Because she's like, I should say it. I should say those words, but they got stuck in my throat because of what he had to face, because he might not find me again despite his promise, because beneath it all he was an immortal and I would grow old and die. Like, to me, I don't know, those are just like interesting. Like, she has not once thought about the fact that she was mortal. It's not something she's been thinking about
Nope.
constantly. It
Nope.
feels like she's just coming up with reasons to be
Yeah.
like, it would never work.
Do you remember the moment in Throne of Glass? I can't remember which book it is, but it's when they're on the water and she's like, she turns into Diana, or Diana like sees through her, and she's like
Yeah.
fucking laserizing the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And then Rowan steps in front of her, and her laser eyes chill out, and her fire powers chill out. And that was like later on. They're like, yeah, well, I suspected I was your mate, and you can't hurt your mate, and blah 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 blah. What if she can't say I love you to anybody but her mate? I mean, she does say
Well,
it
she
later.
does say it,
She does
yeah.
play it later, but like, what if like this moment when it really counts, and she's really thinking about it? What if it's like a mate bond thing that's making her reluctant to say it?
Hmm.
I don't think everything is Rhys. Don't come for me.
No, no, no.
But I'm
But
just
like,
wondering.
I do kind of wonder because yeah, it seems like almost artificial that she wouldn't say it. Like, if I'm a love
Yeah.
struck 18-year-old who's like, I can't be away from you for
Yo, I'm
any,
saying it
like,
to him when
I'm saying it.
I'm saying it when he's dicking me down. Are you kidding me? That's the best place to say it. Hey, dude, you could have this forever. I love you. Let me break a curse. Let's go. Yeah, no. The
Yeah.
fact that she's like, I should, but I can't. Oh,
I wonder, maybe if like, what if the magic is like keeping her from saying, because the magic knows that she's made it to someone else and is therefore not like true love, and so it's not gonna let her say it.
I mean, or she says it and then it doesn't work and the fucking mask stays on. Could you imagine
Yeah,
that?
because
That'd be
like
gnar.
something with a curse like that, like actually we looked at the language last week and it actually says like
Be
someone who's
willing
willing
to
to
marry.
marry you, but then
Mhm.
after it does say Alice says like you had to love him with your whole stupid human heart or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think like, yeah, I wonder if it would just wouldn't have worked. It would have been more interesting to honestly see that play out, for her to be like, I love you, and then him be like, I think we did it. Wait, it didn't work?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she did that and then he just goes, it's not working. Like,
Yeah.
he's like trying to make magic.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you don't really love me." And she's like, "Yes, I do." And then he has like, I don't know.
Yeah, the rest of the series wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work, but it just would be
But I wouldn't mind that alternate universe for like 5 minutes to just like,
yeah. Because when I read this the first time, I was like, just why is this so like,
yeah.
I don't know. I felt like it was like forced, scared of saying it. Like,
Yeah, like, why are you being such an asshole about this, Feyre? Like, it's not. What are you being stubborn about? What is there to? Because you're self
yeah.
pitying yourself. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I didn't really buy into it the first time. The second time I'm more interested, but
yeah.
yeah.
As soon as the carriage enters the woods, she gets knocked out like she did the night before.
Mhm.
Tamlin said, "Sleepy sleep," with his Daemati power. Said, "Go sleep, bitch." Do you see how she describes humans the first time she sees them again?
The faces. Wait.
She calls them unfinished, graceless creatures of earth and blood. Fuck. Bitch, you've been gone for 3 months. How you think you're better than us? Like, damn.
That's actually so crazy.
That unfinished? What? You crazy
I
girl.
know.
Chill out right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure humans are real ugly after you spend a bunch of time with Faye or whatever. But I just am like, um,
Yeah.
I guess it's just funny. Um, I did have one thing right before that. I just thought it was interesting to note. That's why I was like, my brain was
Mhm.
like at half speed before. When she's talking about the reasons why she doesn't want to, we usually note that her biggest fear with her like with her sisters is like being insignificant here, and it's like the first time we hear her talking about she doesn't want to be a burden, which
Mhm.
makes sense with her character because she's like the hunter, she's always taking care of everyone
Mhm.
else, she doesn't want, that probably is a deep fear, but I almost saw it's almost like a flip side of also being insignificant is being a burden.
Mhm.
But I just thought that was a really interesting thing because it's like the first time, but it does seem like it's one of like it's the heart of the reason. But it's really him that becomes a burden on her. But anyway, that was my last note. Feel like I had more to. I can't. I feel like I'm not saying that the way I was thinking it when I initially wrote these notes. And yeah, that graceless human line is
That's
so crazy.
yeah.
Um,
She's thinking like a fae.
yeah, because it probably feels natural to her. And yeah, unfinished is such a it's one thing to be like they had none of the grace of the fae. Unfinished.
Mhm.
Like that is a weird line. Um
Well, it could also be foreshadowing, right? Because if unfinished implies
just
that
involved.
there's like an evolutionary step or a step that one needs to take to go from human to fae, she makes that step, right? She's made.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder if at other times being made was because okay, actually we go back like maybe back in the day you could just get made. Like there was just a process and you could just become fae or something.
Mhm.
They
So,
would bury that secret and not let
well,
anyone
hell
know.
yeah.
Like, but I do almost wonder if it's like I don't know. It's kind of far fetched, but okay. Actually, the next thing after that I have is So, or do you have something before we see this before the sisters?
No.
Okay, so I recognized my sisters before they saw me. They approached, smoothing their fine dresses, their brows rising at the gilded carriage. That cracking, caved in feeling in my chest worsened. Tamlin had said he'd taken care of my family, but this. Nesta spoke first, cursing low. Elaine followed suit. Welcome to our home. And then, she laughs or whatever.
Mhm.
And then, but I thought that was a really interesting, like, first moment. They're like receiving guests. Like, it's just like they just fell back into life.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess isn't the first moment, but it just is like I remember when I read this, I was just like, you guys are just so shallow.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just about it. They're about the aesthetics, like
Yeah.
Tamlin is. Like
Yeah.
they would have been better off at the spring court, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine Elaine? She would have loved it.
Oh
She
my
would have been
god.
like, "This is cool."
She
Nesta
didn't
would have
ask
liked it.
any fucking questions anyways. Elaine's just like that girl is so fucking oblivious to the world around her. Like, but like my
Or she's
god,
internalizing, and she is like
I
maybe her
would I
internal world is insane.
I
Like,
would love to see her brain because let me
yeah,
tell you, I think it sounds like
like the wind through a
there's
cavern.
nothing in there. Or like, what if she, because she comes out of the cauldron as a seer, so like, what if she's already kind of living in the future, like, I don't know, living in
Yeah,
these
no,
fucking spacey space, whatever.
she's already like yeah, because yeah, we sort of talked about that in the first scene. She's like silent, and everyone's like, "What are you
Yeah,
gonna do about Elaine?" And I was like, "Elaine." That's like Feyre's thought is like, but Nesta would take care of Elaine. I was like,
yeah, I'm
she's
like,
your
what?
older sister.
Yeah,
Like, and
I
no, she people
just,
weirdly infantilize her.
well, yeah. And so I don't know what's going on in Elaine's mind at all, and I'm interested to see her become a fucking character. But yeah, could you I mean I could imagine if she had been the one I mean she couldn't have killed the fucking wolf, but if for some reason it was Nesta or Elaine to go, Elaine would have broken the curse in the first week. And just be like, it's so beautiful here, Tamlin. You gave me flowers. I love you. And it'd be like, boom, done. Um,
Tamlin does not know how to pick them.
Nesta, could you imagine Nesta? She'd be like, I'll marry you. Just, let me have all the things that I want and leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, no, she would be out. Yeah, can you imagine? Nesta would have fulfilled her mother's wish of being
Yeah.
yeah, like dominating some man.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary's
Uh-huh.
really high and yeah. I mean, she's still kind of doing that, right? Or would her mom be mad because he's a bastard? Whatever. He's the fucking
He's not, Tamlin?
no. I'm talking about. Do you think her mom would be happy that she's married to Cassian?
Oh yeah, I think her mom wouldn't expect her to have her like I think her mom would be a bigger fan that she has her own power.
Yeah,
You know, cuz she wants her to be a power but within the framework of well, you got to marry somebody and then you can wield your power. So I think she would have been like I think that's just her settling for like you live in the human realm, this is what you got to do.
yeah.
But I think she would
So
much
now you
prefer
think
her to be
she? So
like
now you
a
think
badass.
she'd be disappointed? She'd be like, "You have all this power and you're still gonna be with this guy? This is bullshit."
Maybe. I don't know. I think she just wants Nesta to be a bat. Like, you know, she wants her Nesta to be powerful, however she is. So maybe I don't know. But I'm sure she sounds like she was kind of stern, so I'm sure she would have clashed with Cassian. If nothing else,
Yeah,
for the fact that she like was hard on all of them growing up,
yeah.
like that alone is probably enough for Cassian to be like, "Fuck you." Um, and then
We get like one last mention of the promise bargain, whatever, with mom.
yes. I mean, I'm sure it comes through at some point, at other points, but yeah, it's definitely getting less, thank goodness, because I was so
Hmm.
tired of being hearing about the bargain. Um, and yeah, that's basically all I had until I just, you know, the first interaction is very interesting.
Hmm.
And then the next thing I have is Nesta's description. Did you have
Yeah.
something before that?
No, I mean, so I circled Nesta keeping her distance, right? Because like this is my
Yeah.
second time reading it. So I know that Nesta knows.
Yeah.
And so like I'm making note of what her body language is doing, what she's doing until we finally get to the next chapter where we know that she broke through the glamour. But yeah, I mean the
Mhm.
description is what I have highlighted after this.
Yeah. Well, and cause you know, it's we see Nesta, she's like taking in the clothes in the carriage and
Hmm.
looking at things, and she knows that she got kidnapped, so she's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, this guy did his homework. He really is trying to sell this thing," and she probably makes her more suspicious that someone would go to such lengths to complete the ruse or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, which also could be kind of interestingly terrifying. Like if you're like oh, someone has this much money that just to trick us is sent like an entire fortune with us. Like that would be kind of like it's almost like
Yeah.
a billionaire is like your enemy kind of thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be like I can't ever compete with this kind of wealth. Like
Yeah.
even though they are rich, but like it still seems crazy.
She'd been made differently from something harder and stronger than bone and blood. She was as different from the humans around us as I had become.
Yeah, that was my highlighted underline.
Uh-huh. I have it highlighted and underlined too, and I wrote iron perhaps.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean I
like,
definitely
what's
like
harder and stronger than bone and blood?
yeah, I like that interpretation.
Witches bleed black, right?
Yes, but maybe someone who's like half wouldn't.
No, no, no. Well, because like Allie doesn't bleed black, and she's part witch, isn't
Right.
she?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, Nessa's probably the only one who sort of has similar characterizations to like Amryn, who's like sort of always described as being inherently scary, like for
yeah,
no reason. Like that's your first impression is that you're like,
yeah,
I'm gonna stay away from. I'm not gonna make her mad.
yeah,
Type of
yeah,
deal. And I also know I always note it says she was made differently.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It does not say she was born differently.
Nope.
Like I don't know.
She
So maybe
was
that's a hint.
made differently. I don't know why I didn't circle that, so we're circling.
Yeah, especially since the word for it in this series is made. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Um and also, you know, if our Feyre theory is true, it almost and certainly says that it is true for the other series. And it's interesting that she draws a comparison here. She says she was as different from the humans around us as I had become. Because
Mm-hmm.
Feyre didn't actually become different. She just like knew about it. So it's almost like,
Yeah.
you know, if you have that heritage and all you have to do is like sort of recognize that to unlock it, the nest has been unlocked as
Yeah.
well. Like it's kind of interesting depending on what we'll find out in the coming books. Yeah, that was my line. I was like, it's just all about.
It is strange that there's no explicit witches in this series.
Yeah, Yeah, there's not like an actual witch. Like the closest thing might be like the Weaver, but she's just a death god.
Don't we have people who have angel-like wings in this book, though?
Yes, the Seraphim.
Yeah.
That's it, I think.
You know what I mean, that means angel.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Seraphim's like a Bible word for like angel or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it's like a certain kind of subset of angel or something.
Yeah, I mean it's the angels in Judaism and in Christianity and by extension
Yeah,
Islam. Yeah.
Abrahamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just know it from like Sunday school and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But that's
this
also
is
what they're called in Crescent City.
they are called Seraphim in Crescent City for
Yeah.
sure.
So,
Or maybe they're maybe Dracon. What is his name? Dracon.
yes, with Miriam, right? And then there's Pegasus somewhere in this series too, right?
Yeah, Helion has Pegasi. But a witch, yeah, the wiki, and I remember this is what I remember is that I thought more. I think we looked it up once, and it was actually Cassian who said it. But I thought it was actually more who said it at one point that a witch is someone who takes more power than they're
Mhm.
allowed, which would make sense for Throne of Glass witches. And
Does it?
that yeah, and then at the Bog of Orid, Cassian says that. But I thought that Moore had said something before because I remember thinking that it was sketchy, but maybe I'm just misremembering. And it was never Moore
What
who said
how does
anything.
it make sense for Throne of Glass Witches that they take more power than they are supposed to?
Because aren't they? Isn't part of the thing is that they're made with Valg?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, they just seem kind of like I don't know. I guess it just makes sense in my head. Like they seem kind of like unnatural. Like
Mhm.
like
Well, yeah, they're the offspring of Valg and Faye.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It just I guess it kind of makes sense, but technically that's just for ACOTARs that they take more power than they should be allowed.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
Well, that's a pretty loose definition. I think that's exactly what Nesta is because she took more power than she was allowed when she came out of the
exactly.
cauldron, which is a witch's tool,
Yeah, exactly.
which is
And
also
but
what
yeah,
Croken means, is
yes,
cauldron
yeah,
witch.
yeah. That I
So
think is
she
super
may not.
interesting, and
So
I'm very much
maybe
on the
she's
Nesta is
not.
a witch thing.
Well, maybe she may not be a witch at this moment, right? By like one of her parents is of, I guess it would just be women, right? That her mom was a witch or whatever.
Hmm.
But that's what she's made into. She's not made into Fae. She's made into a witch.
But
And they just don't
couldn't
know
Faye
it.
be a witch?
Well,
Can you be a
yeah.
Fae witch?
Yeah.
Like maybe she's genetically already a
But
Fae,
witches are
and then
half
she
Fae.
will
Yeah.
become a
Yeah, yeah,
witch
because witches are half Fae and half Valg.
in Throne of Glass world. I'm not necessarily
Yeah.
always they're the same though, so I'm
No,
like,
but who did
but since
they
there's
use?
not actual witches in here, then anyone can kind of become a witch,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that the definition of what a witch is in this one is super, super all
Yeah.
encompassing. Someone who takes more power than they should, that's everybody,
I mean,
babe.
technically that's Feyre.
Yeah.
I mean, she was given power, I guess.
But if we look at a specific moment when Nesta went into the cauldron, it says she
No,
took
she
something
take it.
that the cauldron was not willing to give.
Yeah. She is the one who seems like the most classical
Yeah, so
definition.
maybe
I'm just
that
trying
could be
to.
the reason why the description is it's someone who takes more than what they're supposed to.
Mhm.
And so then when it's revealed that she is a witch because she was made into a witch, they're like, "Oh, well, it makes sense because she was made into a witch by the cauldron when she took too much more than what she was allotted."
Yeah.
And that's what makes
But
a witch.
then but then the thing that makes you a witch is your action. Whereas I still think there's something with her even now. Like,
Mhm.
so maybe only a certain kind of person could become a witch because they maybe to take the power you have to be able to like because I don't know
Yeah.
to me it seems
Yeah,
like the
that
parents are
being
the
a
ones who are sketchy
witch.
and they're
Yeah.
by results the kids are something and that's why
Mhm.
Feyre is how she is and why Elaine's a seer and why Ness is whatever the fuck Ness is
Yeah.
like but yeah the her choosing to take the power is kind of an interesting turn on that you know what I
Mhm.
mean.
What if they're just a descendant of somebody and they don't know it?
Well, that way definitely almost basically is a huge
Yeah.
hint because in Akawar, the bone carvers, like, there used to be this one, and they say there's someone in the human line, or okay, like,
Yeah.
that's clearly them. Um, someone who could have helped the bone carver or something
I
like
mean, unless
that.
he's talking about Bryce. She could be.
Yeah.
He could be
There's
talking
something
about
with
any of
Bryce's
them.
mom too, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Bryce's mom is human. It's her dad that is Faye.
I thought she had something. I thought her mom had something special about her.
Nope, just a normie
Maybe that was
human.
just my theory or something.
Just an unfinished, graceless creature of blood and nerve.
Dude.
That's going on a
Uh,
shirt. Human, and then the definition: unfinished, graceless creature of blood and nerve.
that's act. Yeah, that's actually
That's,
a great definition.
that's
It's
hilarious.
um
I
yeah.
want to know why Elaine is so stupid. This pisses me off that Elaine is so stupid or oblivious or blind or whatever, because the next thing that I have underlined is when she's talking and Elaine's like, "Didn't you get the letters? Oh, you'll never believe it. Almost a week after you went to go care for Aunt Ripley, some strangers appeared at the door and asked Father to invest his money for him." All right, kind of believable. Father was hesitant because the offer was so good, but the stranger insisted, so Father did it. He gave him a trunk of gold just for agreeing. You're like, that's a little sus, Elaine, but okay, here we
Yeah.
go. Within a month, he doubled the man's investments, and then the money started pouring in. And you know what? This is what pisses me off right now. This is what I underlined. All those ships that were lost were found in Barat, complete with Father's profits. And you weren't suspicious at all?
Yeah.
Boats,
Why isn't the dad
ships,
suspicious? I guess that's the
ships that
glamour.
were lost at the bottom of the ocean were found in a world where C-sections are not possible, by the way, with all of the profits still intact. Also, Tamlin doesn't know to put that in there until after Feyre tells him about the lost treasure. So does
Yeah.
Tamlin go back to the human world or like tell his little connect, "Hey, let's pull this back up too," and just say that we found this for you too? Because here's the thing, if like it's just sketchy that a piece of information that Tamlin would not have known until at least days after he was hanging out with Feyre, and then that comes back?
Hmm. It's way too suspicious. I mean, I guess is the glamour making them believe that or buy it?
Yes, that's what it seems like. So then he has a dude. Tamlin sends a guy,
Yeah. He sent
right,
yeah.
to go and invest. And then he has to send another load of nonsense with a note that says, "Found your shit in the ocean.
Yeah.
Here it is, shipped back to you," or whatever. What does Tamlin do? Does he buy ships and sail them back to fucking Feyre's dad? Like, what does this look like? And they can't have done this before Feyre told him about this moment.
Okay, I have an
But
idea. I have an insane theory.
yeah, let's hear it. I love insane
So the
theories.
original Tamlin fairy tale is, fall in love with a human woman, something about a kid, right? And we always joke that maybe Nesta's his daughter or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Anyway, it gets kind of gross, especially when you think about him. You like fuck Feyre, but anyway.
Mhm.
But can you just imagine him and the mom break up, and then she gets with this guy, and then he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna sink their ships. So he actually is just like, okay, I'll unsink. Like maybe he didn't have to do any of that research. He knew
It's
exactly where
like,
it was, and he's
like
just
of all the bitches to be killing my wolf friends, it's got to be her daughter. Her daughter. Could you imagine maybe that's why he's so grumpy gills in the beginning, because he's just like,
yeah. He's
of
like,
all the fucking girls in the human realm that I gotta make fall in love with me, it's the one whose mom I banged. This is bullshit.
yeah,
I mean, it is not the first story in the world where someone is in love with somebody's mom and then falls in love with their daughter, right? Wuthering Heights does it
it's,
too. It's gross,
yeah.
but it happens. Um,
Hopefully not often. Um,
no.
I mean, I don't really think that, it's just kind of funny, but I can tell it's meant to be like, "Oh, he listened to me, and then he did this," and it's supposed to be, like, a nice moment, but I'm just like, it's not."
But then all the times that he's on border patrol and he comes back with no blood on him, is it because he's been over in the human realms giving money to her family?
I mean, I don't think
Talking
he's going
talking to
personally, but
his
yeah.
human connect
Yeah,
to be like, "Hey,"
probably.
like,
Maybe that's who the meeting was with, because 'cause you're like, "Who's he meeting with? Everyone's under the mountain."
he's meeting with Feyre's dad.
Yeah, he's pretending to be a traveler who found a bunch of ships full of gold.
They
Um,
had your name on it. So fucking weird. Here's your money back. I'm not gonna take any of it. No. You know what? Just good deeds. I'm just gonna pay it forward.
yeah. Well, and okay, to be fair, it might not be that Elaine is stupid. Maybe she's just ultra susceptible to that spring court magic, and that's the glamour that's making her believe it. And because yeah, that's a crazy thing to not be
Or
suspicious
she's
of.
choosing to believe it because
True.
she sees the future.
Okay, I like that. That's the best theory because
Yeah,
I don't
where
want to
she's
just
like
say she's dumb.
choosing
She
to
just seems dumb, but I
no,
don't think she
where
actually
she
is.
knows what needs to play out, and so she's not saying a fucking thing because she knows that she just needs to stay with that High Lord.
Yeah.
Just
Can
gotta
you
figure
imagine
it out.
if Elaine, like, maybe she saw like Valaris, like she's starting to already see the future. She's just like, and so she has this feeling like, mm, at some point we're gonna somehow get super rich and live in this really nice place.
Mhm.
And then this guy comes and knocks on the door and says, "We found your ship." She's like, maybe that's how it happens. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like so.
Or she
Yeah,
gets like
that's
little pieces of it where like she sees, and so she's just like, I'm just gonna roll with it because I had a dream that we were gonna live better, and now we're living better, and it was meant to be because I had
yeah.
the dream, and so I'm gonna just not question it. It's weird as
She's
fuck,
just like
but
a
I'm
hip
just gonna not question
crunchy
it.
mom. Yeah.
It's just right. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
She's meant for Tamlin because this too will pass. Fucking Tamlin.
Oh my god. Although, the other thing with the Tamlin thing is that it just is it's still too small world bullshit. Like Fate had better be designing the mates if that's the case because it's such a weird coincidence. Like your mate, there's millions of people in the world and
Yeah.
your mate's like, no, it's too
Yeah.
many coincidences, and the only way out of that is to say that it's because fate is aligning these people.
Yeah.
And I will be pissed if there is some kind of like Lucian is actually her mate or any other situation and it's not. We don't get some fate discussion because otherwise I'm just like, bro, this is so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too easy for all sisters to have a mate.
Who are like all know each other, like really
Yeah.
like her like statistically her mate should be like in Barat, like should be like somewhere else,
Statistically,
like
the king of Hybern should be her mate.
that would also be a weird coincidence. Yeah. Okay, the next thing I have is Nesta's carefully blank face.
Where's her blank face? Oh yeah, okay, it's at the end, the last page. I have the next sentence circled. This says, "So she hadn't married Thomas Mandry after all," and I circled it because we get that scene in a bonus chapter as to why she didn't marry him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Have you read the Nesta
Yeah.
Cassian bonus chapter? Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, because Thomas is a grapist.
Has
Um,
that already happened?
I believe so.
Because does it happen when she's still poor? Does it happen after,
I think
like,
it's right after they get their money back.
okay. Uh, yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I know it happens, and I think it's already happened.
hmm I do. It's interesting because that was Feyre's last, what the last thing she said to her, and the first sort of
Hmm.
thought she has about her, which I guess makes sense. It's like her well being, but I don't know. It's like it's kind of interesting. Um, yes. Okay. This next part is the one that okay.
Hmm.
Elaine's babbling on. She says she. To be fair, this is probably why we think Elaine's stupid because she gets written like this. She babbled on, patted my
Yeah,
hand, like yeah.
we're like Sarah has given us such a shit perspective of Elaine. Watch Elaine be like
She
the
like Feyre thinks I'm so
most
stupid.
interesting character, and she's just gonna be like, these motherfuckers don't even like. What if she becomes a villain? Could you imagine that? Where she's like, they don't even
I
know.
could.
They don't even know. Yeah,
She's been tunneling down into herself all in
Elaine
ACOTAR.
as a villain sounds fucking awesome.
That's funny.
Watch
Yeah.
her kill Tamlin, take his court.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I'm here for that. I'm here for her to
Those
be
are
like,
some real
"Lucien,
ass stakes. Sisters
fuck."
going to war against each other.
Yeah, she'd be like, "Fuck all of you and fuck this guy." And then they go and fight him and she kills him and she's just like, "Mine. This is mine now." Could you imagine?
Dude.
That'd be wild. She like, I don't know, meets up with a different prince of hell that's not Azrael or fucking Thanatos or whoever, and she just fucking crushes the spring court. This is unhinged. There's absolutely no evidence for any.
Elaine is mated to a prince of hell. It's actually her and Adis, and then she's just kidding.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Jesus. Yeah. You
That's
know what?
wild.
Elaine would go with a little white cat so well.
She would.
She would be like, "Oh my gosh, she would be like, can you imagine like the like Adis is actually a villain and Elaine turns him into a villain, and
Hmm.
you get the classic like villain petting their cat, but it's just her
Hmm.
petting Adis like
Yeah. Yeah.
menacingly. It's
It
kind
also
of
though it also
insane.
kind of comes off a little bit like Greek abduction like
She
story.
abducts the Lord of the Underworld instead of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, it's a little Persephone thing, right? But like you know, Elaine's like kind of ditzy enough to be like, "Oh, kitty," and just like you know, and he's just like Zeusing the fuck out of her right now, turning into an animal and being like, "Come follow me," right?
oh my god.
Yeah. And he's like, and then I opened up the underworld and I stole her, and now she can't leave. Haha. And then she'll learn to love
Dude.
it because she's Persephone.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, who knows? We'll see.
I
But
mean, she
yeah,
does. As a side note, she does give Persephone energy.
I don't really know the story of Persephone
She's
that
the
well.
daughter of the Garden of Harvest, and she's abducted picking flowers in a field.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And her name means maiden, means like virginal.
Huh.
Hmm.
It fits those vibes a lot,
Yes,
too,
it does.
honestly.
If she ends up mated to a prince of fucking hell, I'm gonna be like, I told you. You heard it here first that she's Persephone. And that
You heard
motherfucker
it
is
here
Hades.
first and nowhere else because it's an insane, unhinged
It is
theory.
insane.
Dude, but that's how you hit some of them. You gotta swing
You
one.
know what I'm really hoping? I'm hoping that my books are successful enough that there is a podcast that's devoted to my stuff like this so that when I get stuck on what the fuck I'm going to do with my next book, I can just listen to the unhinged theories and be like,
You're like,
I
that's
can
cool.
make
That's a good idea.
I can make that one work. Could you imagine if she's just like watching these things and she's like, fuck,
Our
I didn't
one
even.
subscriber is SJM herself, and just be like, you know what? Let's actually do the hibern illusion theory. That's a good idea.
But could you have
Let's retcon it.
imagine having so many people have different theories, and you know that some of these are not real, not going to happen, and like I feel like there's just as much of a like fuck, stop looking into this, guys, because I gotta because I'm that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I could see slightly disappointed if we guess early what she's gonna do, but I could also imagine being like, I can't watch these because then I'm gonna be influenced by good ideas, and I want them to be my
And
own
I'm sure
ideas.
she doesn't. I think that's what J.K. Rowling used to say, and also I think SJM has said that she doesn't look at anything.
Yeah.
Also,
I could not because I would be like, "Fuck, that's a better idea than I had."
yeah. Well, and hopefully, like you don't want your ideas to really be guessable
Yeah, that's true.
because, like, if they are, I mean, the best thing to ever hope for, in my opinion, as a writer, is that when you get to the thing that's crazy, all your readers go, that makes total sense, and also I never saw it coming,
Yeah,
and that's really
absolutely.
hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, but then somebody
Yeah.
who's the opposite of Elaine, Nesta fell into step behind us, a quiet, stalking presence. I
Hmm.
didn't want to know what she was thinking. I wasn't certain whether I should be furious or relieved they'd gotten on so well without me, and whether Nesta was wondering the same. But yeah, Nesta's always described as like this. Yeah, like honestly, it reminds me of Amryn. Like they're always described as sort of scary. But
Man,
yeah, quiet
Manon
stalking
too,
presence is
though.
interesting. Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Yeah, like
it
absolutely
fits.
Manon like energy.
Yeah, dude,
No
that
one
would
wants to hang out
what a
with her for
scene.
too long unless it's Dorian, right?
But yeah, it's just a very iconic line too.
He freed me from the treaty to keep me safe. Bitch, there was no treaty.
Uh-huh. Yeah, her vision of freedom is an illusion.
I feel like, and again, I didn't see this the first time, so I probably would have not seen it if I were in her shoes. But it is so glaringly obvious that there is no such thing as a treaty when he's like, it's fine. Really? Because 2 months ago you said there was like
I
ironclad,
know.
no way out of it. And he's like, let him come for me. Fuck it. It's fine. I'll take the thing. And then her being like, he broke the treaty and freed me to keep me safe. Bitch, you can't put that together. Wait, this makes no
Yeah.
sense. How can you just break a treaty that was unbreakable 2 months ago?
I mean, if anything else, like just think like, you know, she that's what she should at least been thinking in her head. Like, how is he doing this? Is he really like because
What's
maybe
the
there's a world
cost?
where she
What's
thinks he's
yeah.
killing himself for her.
Yeah,
Because
like
maybe
what is
he
the
has to pay now. Like,
we're like, and what is the cost of breaking a treaty? What do you mean they can come for you? If it's not a big deal, then why didn't you do this months ago?
yeah. Well, and maybe she sees it as like, oh, months ago he was pissed, but now he's gonna let me go.
But then that's not the treaty
It's
not
weird.
being breakable. That's Tamlin not being.
Yeah, maybe she stopped believing it. I don't know.
I just think it's everyone right now is so gullible and it's pissing me off.
Yeah, I think that's also something that people that's a critique of this book in general actually is that everyone hates these chapters. And I think it's cuz you have like you don't want your readers thinking like why aren't you thinking this? You know, it's so
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
And they're yeah, but it's whatever. I don't really. When I read these, I just blaze through that part because I don't want to like sit here and be like, well, why not? I'm like, because she didn't think about it too hard
Yeah.
enough, and
I
that's
think that
feels not
feelings and
fair.
whatever. Yeah. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
notice it when I first read it. So, like, I'm just as guilty as she is for not thinking about it. But still, I'm like, reading it now, I'm like, that's stupid. Then,
Yeah,
then we have all Rhys. All of her regret is Rhys. All of what she's missing, all of what she's walking away from, all of what she feels like it was a horrible, horrible mistake she's making, it's Rhys.
you're talking about I had to say it. I had to stay. It was wise to stay here, but I couldn't fight the sensation like a darkening shadow within me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That I'd made a very, very big mistake in leaving, no matter what Tamlin's orders. I had to stay with the High Lord, the Suriel said. Its only command.
only command.
Again, we get the Suriel line again,
Mhm.
right after we think we have the feeling of darkness and shadows. So
Yeah.
again, already pointing us again to, hey, remember the Suriel said this.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Suriel said this. And now every time we have this mention of a Suriel, we have very close vicinity to that sentence, something about darkness or
Yeah, or
night
even
or
why
shadows.
doesn't she just like why didn't she ask Tamlin that? Like the Suriel said this, like
She
what
did,
it
and he and
meant
he
something.
he blew it off. She did say something. She goes,
She
but the
did.
Suriel said, he said, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Remember.
Oh.
Because
Oh,
she
okay.
didn't tell him that the Suriel said to stay with the High Lord. She said the Suriel said that the treaty can't be broken. And he's like, let it come from me then.
Oh.
But she doesn't tell him that the Suriel
Oh,
told her.
he does he ever find out that the Suriel says stay with the High Lord?
Nope.
It's very interesting. That seems like something I would have wielded. If I'm Feyre in this situation, I'd be like, listen, I didn't tell you this before, but the Suriel told me that I had to
Yeah.
stay with you if we wanted things to
Yeah.
go
Stay
okay.
with the High Lord and watch everything be righted. So I'm
Yeah.
staying. Yeah. But yeah, so she couldn't find the sensation that she'd made a very, very, very big mistake in leaving, like a darkening shadow within her. Stay with the High
Yeah.
Lord, the Suriel had said. And then it even goes on, right? I shoved the thought from my mind as my father wept at the sight of me and did indeed order a ball, blah, blah, blah. And though I knew the promise that I had once made to my mother, yada, yada, we don't care. Though I knew the truth of it, it was free, that my family was forever cared for, that growing, lengthening shadow blanketed my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I wonder if that's just Rhys like reaching out through the
Yeah,
bond just to be
saying
like, "Are you
bye.
okay, buddy?"
Yeah,
Or
saying
maybe if
bye.
he feels that she's over the wall because he can
Yeah,
sense it actually, huh?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So maybe he's like, "Take care."
yeah. That he's
Like,
just like making sure she's safe, right? Trying to get her
yeah,
there, having that moment. and caressing her heart, because what Rhys does is caress. He
In the
doesn't.
shadows, it's very nice descriptions.
Yeah.
It's like, with the darkening shadow within me blanketed my heart. What it should say is the darkening shadow wrenched at my heart or
No,
burned
but
at my
Rhys,
heart.
but Rhys
But
doesn't
it's so
hurt
gentle.
her.
Yeah.
Rhys is
But see, that's
gentle.
where I think, no, this shadow is Rhys.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
though sometimes it does sound crazy and like really crackpot to like think that every shadow is Rhys, but like it's a pretty good case for
Fuck
it.
it. Every shadow is Rhys. That's what
Yeah.
that goes on a shirt. Every shadow is Rhys.
Okay, actually.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so chapter 29 for next
Yeah.
week is when we start getting Nesta's story, right?
That's what this is. That just the Nesta like saying the whole thing. And is this also where she teaches her to paint or something?
I think so. They go back to the cottage.
Yeah, that's right. And then she just hang out with Elain.
I don't think we get Nesta's stuff until the following chapter.
Oh, I thought they had. Huh.
Yeah, it's not. It's the next chapter because she walks past
Yeah,
Thomas Mandry
64.
in chapter 30, and then she's like, what happened to Tom? And like that's how they start their conversation. That's when Nesta's like, tell me everything that happened.
264. There is no Aunt Ripley.
Yeah, and then we have a ball.
The ball is, and she leaves like right after the ball.
So we're back in Prythian by chapter 32.
Yeah, and 32 is going to be such a long episode. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it won't be because it's just a lore drop. It's like literally 10 pages. Kel was so mad about it. He was like, "What the fuck is this exposition drop?" I didn't mind it when I read it, and then I was like, "This is a bit much." But also,
I don't mind anything when I read it.
I didn't mind. I didn't like that Alice was so mean.
Yeah, that's
I was
fair.
like, Alice, don't be a
Alice,
bit.
yeah, Alice has some. Yeah.
But also, I guess it's also understandable.
Well,
Actually, in this chapter, she's like, "Enjoy your freedom," and she's like, I feel like she's pissed.
yeah. Cool. So yeah, so 29 and 30, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to dissect as much as I can of Elain in chapter 29. I want to try to figure out what's going on in that girl's head, dude. So yes, that's my goal for 29 is to figure this ditzy little woman out.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Cool. And then yeah, so and I'll see you next week for chapter 29.
To the stars who listen, we will see you next week.